Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome to another video. Now for this video, I thought I would talk to you guys and give you guys my top 10 tips and tricks for Rocket League beginners. Now the reason I've made this video is I've seen a few of my subscribers who have just started playing Rocket League because they've seen me play it or because they're just interested in the game in general and they can't understand how to really play properly. Because I mean, this is the same for me. When I first started Rocket League and when a lot of people first started Rocket League, they were very shit at the game, and that's just pretty much goes for anything you will ever do in your life. When you just start, you're not going to be as good as people who have been playing for about a fucking year or 2 years or however long. So in this video, I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a helping hand and let you know my top 10 tips for you to become a better Rocket League player. Let me just put emphasis on the fact that this is a video for beginners. If you've been playing Rocket League for a couple months or about a month or two maybe, you're feeling good, you know how to play, you know the sort of basics of the game, this is not a video for you. There might be a few tips in here that can help you out, so you might want to carry on watching, and in fact there are 1 or 2 tips that will be good for people who've been playing for quite a long time. However, I think this video is mainly for beginners, so stay at your own interest, but if you're a beginner, I think this video is definitely for you. Starting off with my number 10 tip, it's going to have to be do not chase the ball. Rocket League is a very fast-paced game, and you're going to get caught up in it, and you're going to think, oh, I'm going to keep going for the ball, keep going for the ball. However, as you'll learn as you carry on playing, this is definitely not what you want to do, because you'll find that if you keep chasing the ball, and this goes for in 1v1 scenarios, 2v2 scenarios, 3v3 and 4v4, if you keep chasing the ball, you're going to find that you're going to be putting yourself out of the game a lot. For example, if you're chasing the ball, you'll see the gameplay on the screen for each tip that I'll be giving you the best gameplay I can, my own gameplay for each tip. So you'll see on the screen now, I'm purposely chasing the ball and I'm showing you how badly it's working, and then I'll show you guys what happens when I don't chase the ball, and if I'm with a teammate, I let them go for it sometimes. It depends how far or close I am to the ball and what kind of impact I can make from the distance I'm at. A lot of the times it's better to sit back and let your teammate go for the ball and wait for the perfect opportunity. Not the perfect, but a much better opportunity to hit the ball. Because if you keep going for it, you're gonna find a lot of the time you're not gonna get to the ball because they're gonna get to it before you. And when you're playing with teammates, it's very frustrating when your teammate just keeps going for the ball. So guys, do not chase the ball. Be patient, wait for your moment and hit the ball. Strike the ball when you feel like it's the right time. Coming in at number 9, it's gonna have to be think before you commit. This kind of goes hand in hand with do not chase the ball. However, it's a bit different. Sometimes you will not chase the ball and you'll wait, but you'll commit to something that you should not be committing to. Now this means when the opponent is a bit closer to the ball than you are, even if it's only a tiny bit closer, if they're hitting that ball first and they put it past you and you dedicate yourself to it and you throw yourself at the ball and you go past it and they hit it past you, you're out the game for like 8 to 10 seconds because you're gonna have to come all the way back. You're gonna have to first land properly, hopefully, and if you don't land properly, it's going to be even longer. Get yourself back into the game, and all it takes is 10 seconds for your opponent to score, especially if you're doing 2v2, which is the game mode which is the preference that I prefer, playing 2v2. If your teammate's on his own against 2 opponents and they're just absolutely smashing him, unless he's amazing, they're probably going to score. So think before you commit to balls that you know you can get to first, or even if you're not going to get to them first, you can still commit, but make sure you put yourself in a position so that when they hit the ball, you're going to hit it as well and hit it past them once they hit it at you. That's, however, a bit advanced, not too advanced, but you'll find yourself doing that the more you practice. Coming in at number 8, understand the different ways of striking the ball. Now again, when you're a beginner, this isn't going to be too important. You're going to want, well, it is very important, but this is something you sort of pick up quite quickly as you play the game. You start to learn how different ways of striking the ball can affect the ball's trajectory and flight path. You can find a lot of videos on YouTube describing how you can hit the ball in different ways to make the ball fly in different ways. However, I'm going to take you through a few of the basics now just for the sake of this video. Just after the ball bounces, you want to strike it as hard as you can in order to get good power and distance. This is probably the way you can hit the ball with the most power, literally just after it bounces, and you'll see some gameplay on the screen showing you exactly what I mean. On the floor, as the ball is rolling to you, to get height, you can hit the ball as it's rolling to you, and it might not go far depending on the car you have, but it will go high, which means you can follow up with an aerial, which is when you're advanced. This is an amazing tactic for you to get the ball straight up the pitch and hopefully into the net. If the ball's coming towards you, you can dodge straight into the ball at the last second to get some good power. This is very good for getting power, like I just said, and on the screen you will see the kind of flight path and trajectory it makes the ball go through. Coming in at number 7, it's going to be change your camera settings. Now this might not be for everybody, however, this is what a lot of the pros use, and I've copied it from the pros. And you look at my camera settings now, you'll see that I've turned camera shake off, and you won't really realize, you don't really notice camera shake unless you take it off. When you take it off, you realize how much more smooth your game feels, and it feels a lot better to play the game. To play Rocket League with your camera shake that box is unticked. I can't quite remember what the default settings are, but you should have default settings if you're a beginner, or you haven't if you haven't changed your camera settings already. So compare yours to mine. My camera FOV is 100. FOV is field of view, which means I can see more of the pitch and be more spatially aware of what's going on around me. My camera height is 100, and that just goes hand in hand with the FOV, and I just think it's a very good camera height. Camera angle is -5. Camera distance is 250. Camera stiffness is 0. Camera swivel speed is 2.50. Ball cam indicator on or off, it depends. If you have it off, sometimes it can be a bit annoying to see ball cam, but I like to know for a fact that I've got ball cam on. Hold ball camera, not entirely sure what that is, however, I'm pretty sure it's off by default, so you might just want to keep it off. Coming in at our number 6 spot, we have try to always have boost. Now, this is quite a weird one, because you're going to want to always have boost. However, you do not want to be greedy, because sometimes when you go for boost and your teammate needs boost, you're going to really piss him off, and he's going to be without boost, which can actually end up leading to you guys conceding because your teammate can't get to the ball in time. Also, you don't want to keep yourself out of the game waiting for a boost to come along, or completely going away from the game just to get some boost. Sometimes it's okay if the ball's on their side of the pitch and you feel like you can go safely and get some boost, but a lot of the time you are going to want to have boost. You've got to sort of balance it in between, and as you play the game, you'll know when you can go for boost and when you can't go for boost. At number 5, it's going to be learn aerials as quickly as possible. When you first start the game, you're playing with people around the same skill level as you, so aerials are not entirely important. If you know aerials and you're in the beginning of the game, you're going to absolutely dominate your opponents, because they're not going to be able to aerial, and if you can aerial well, you're going to absolutely smash every single game without a doubt. However, when you start going up the ranks, and especially if you're playing competitive play and you start going up divisions, you're going to find that everybody knows how to aerial. Everybody I play against knows how to aerial. There's not one case at all, unless they're like a rookie, but that never happens, where someone cannot aerial. So you go for aerials, they're going to counter your aerials, they're going to save your aerial shots, and they're going to aerial against you, and you need to know aerials in order to defend the ball. You can learn aerials just by playing the game. I personally learned it just by playing the game. However, you can go into training and go onto aerials, and you could learn them, try and complete the beginner one, and then go on to the intermediate one. And I've personally completed All-Star 10 out of 10, I believe, and if you can do that, then you know aerials. You're going to find it very hard at first, and it's going to sound ridiculous that you can do aerials, but all I can say is, when I used to first started aerials, I used to just hold down the boost, and you have no control when you do that. You want to tap the boost so that you have more control, but don't expect to learn this quickly. The more you play, the more you'll understand. It took me ages to learn aerials, and I've still got friends who play now who are not great at aerials at all. And I'm not saying I'm great. I'm not good at all compared to the likes of Kronovi and all the professional players, but I know aerials well enough to pretty much hit the ball wherever it is. Number 4, learn wall hits. Now, these hits are very easy. They look a bit intimidating, but they are very easy, and they are extremely effective. When the ball is literally on the wall rolling, and it's literally touching the wall, all you have to do is drive up the wall and hit it, and you will get some good distance as long as no one counters it. As you get better at these, you can hit the ball when it's slightly off the wall, you can jump into it, but that's something that you'll get as you carry on practicing and playing the game. But for now, try to commit yourself to hitting the ball when it's rolling on the wall, because that will give you great distance. It will get the ball on the other side of the pitch, hopefully, if no one counters it, and in fact, you can score from wall hits quite easily. So I honestly advise trying to learn wall hits just as much as you're trying to learn aerials. Number 3, understand kickoffs. Now, I know a lot of you probably already understand this, but this is more of a tip for the really amateur beginners, the ones who have literally just started and have no idea what to do. When you're playing with teammates, you're going to want to follow the rules that I've got on the screen now, not in text, but you're going to see what I'm doing. When you're at the corner and it's kickoff, you always go for the ball, unless your teammate's at the corner as well. You can sometimes communicate in the chat. One of them might say take the shot in the chat, or I've got it, and that's something you learn as you go along. But as a rule of thumb for now, as a beginner, when you start in the corner, always go for the ball, because you're gonna be the one who gets there first, compared to someone who spawns in the middle, for example. When you're spawning in the middle and your teammate's on the corner, do not go for the ball. You can either slowly go for the ball, let the 2 guys hit the ball from the corners, then you can sometimes come in and nick a goal. That happens sometimes. Or you can stay back and defend the ball just in case someone hits it up. Or you can go for boost. This is something that I do quite a bit. It depends really on the situation. Sometimes you'll both spawn in the middle and the one who's in front should always go first. This is quite obvious. If you're at the back, you can slowly follow up behind him, and then when they hit the ball, sometimes the ball will stay stationary because they both hit it at the exact same way and the ball will stay still. From then, you can hit the ball into the goal, or you can stay back in the goal, or you can move the boost just like I mentioned before. Coming in at our number 2 spot, try different cars. I've tried a fair few cars. I'm not going to say I've tried all of them, but here you'll see the different cars that I'm trying, and my favorite at the moment is the Batmobile. This is a purchasable DLC, so you might not want to do that. For now, maybe try using the Dominus, the Breakout, the Gizmo, the Hotshot, the Takimi. The Octane is also a very good choice. Most of the cars, except for 1 or 2, are very good, and they all have their different traits. For example, the Breakout and the Dominus and the Batmobile, for example, they're very good for striking the ball and aerials, etc. In my opinion, the Octane is good for dribbling, etc. They're all pretty much the same, but they do have little traits due to the hitboxes of their cars, which makes certain tactics and certain things easier. You might want to try them all and see which one you are best with. And coming in at our number 1 tip, and I know people hate these tips, the number 1 tip, that's not actually much of a tip, but more of a statement. Keep practicing. I wasn't going to put this, I was going to put an actual tip, but in my opinion, this is the most important tip of all. Keep practicing. When I first started Rocket League, I didn't look at any tips and tricks videos for months. I learned everything that I know just from playing the game and seeing other people do it, learning it on my own. I never really used the training option or anything like that, but it took me a while to learn it. These tips and tricks are for you guys to learn a bit quicker, and using the training is definitely going to help you with aerials, etc. But overall, the way you're going to really improve and understand the game completely is by playing it more and more and more. You're going to find it quite daunting at start, especially when people are doing aerials and that and you don't know how to. I know what it's like. When I first started Rocket League, I had no idea how it was possible to do an aerial at all, but you'll find that the more you play, the more you'll understand, and you will become good before you know it. Anyway guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos talking about Rocket League tips, tricks, etc., I can definitely make there more tips and tricks for any other game that you know that I play quite a lot on my channel. I can definitely give you those as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please make sure you subscribe. I love every single one of you, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.